Okay, yeah. Let's move on to the another day part of the day, right? This is gonna be a rapid fire one. Not much happened today, right? So we had or have rather euro dollar still in the same position really, but it's heavily bullish right now, so we are looking for the buys. Right, looking for the buys. We had a sweep of the small swing high and then came back down. Now we're waiting to see if it'll finally close above, which would mean that the swing low would move there. And on the M15 today, we were looking for buys. We had an alert here for this zone. Unfortunately, it did not tap in before it started pushing higher. So yeah, it's gone for now. So at this point in time, we are waiting to see what happens. Right? Okay, 15-minute swing has just been broken up literally right now. So this is a bust. And then in terms of sells, you probably look for internal break of structure, then you can follow sells into the discount over here and then wait for that to switch bullish right before you start looking for buys again. Right, this is the expectations, and also the swing low moves there. Right, the swing low is there. So yeah, expect something like this. Look for sells higher up in the leg, right? Once you are deeper, you start switching focus and start looking for buys. And then Euro USD, okay, we had a break on that as well. Also during today there was really no place to follow this bullish momentum higher. Places like this, I wouldn't have been happy looking for anything in there anyway. So at this point in time, you probably want to see for sells, right? Want to see this internal low break like that, and then we follow it from higher into the discount, and then same as every other one, wait for the internal to switch bullish, then only we look for the buys like that. So I'm always happy when euro pairs like have pretty much the same price action, because it kind of indicates that it's more than likely what will happen, because it's set up the same on all of them. But also remember, that's not what it means, because market still does what it wants to does, right? For our wise, yeah, it's just an internal break and then another internal break right there. So the internal is still pretty bullish, and so yeah, probably want to follow these 4-hour PYs in here, right? They are where the market is more than likely gonna turn. So once we come in here, be careful and stop looking for sells, start looking for buys, right? Because buys are higher probability at that stage. USD and GBP USD. Oh shit, okay, I didn't do a top down for Euro USD. Well, whatever. Daily is bullish, right? Daily is bullish, 4 hours is bullish, and then you had a chop there, another chop there. Now we'll see if this zone here, which is not a strong zone, right? It only got a chalk. what will the market do within here, right? Not a strong zone, only got a chalk, and the chalk it gets also is like a sweep, same as this one where sweep, sweep. So when it's sweeping like that, like you see how it's swept the swing low over here, it's more than likely gonna continue higher. Looking at how the dollar's currently bearish right now, so yeah, you can guesstimate that this will probably go higher as well. But in terms of higher probabilities, you probably want to see this high go here, which is like the internal high over here. You probably want to see that go, right? You want to see this go because you did have a sweep of the swing low, which means the low may hold, and then you want to see this high go. You want to see the high go, and then the pullback in here, looking for buys like that. And last but not least, you have USD CAD. Yeah, USD CAD also had expectations of sells because on the 4-hour, as you can see on the 4-hour, initially it switched bullish right over here, but remember the 4-hour will switch bullish to facilitate the daily pullback, and then it pulls back into this daily zone. Once the daily pullback is done, the 4-hour has to switch bearish again to continue its move, right? So this switch to bullish does not mean I would be looking for buys within here, respecting the 4-hour swing. I'd expect that this 4-hour swing is actually just to facilitate the daily pullback, and then we continue lower. Same as you can see the signs with like crazy wicks like this, where it comes in, sweeps this high, and just goes on down like that. So expectation would be for this 4-hour internal low not to hold. Right, sweep on the M15 was clear, then we expect it to break down. Today I was looking for sells. As I was saying, I was looking for sells today, but the dilemma was my internal low is here, right? My internal low would have been here, right, at the start of the London, which was this morning, right? You have your internal low there, even though with like your own eyes, right, you can see that okay, it went up there, goes down, goes up, goes down, so you would have expected it to hold right there and go down, right? But my dilemma still was the actual internal low is down here, so selling here, yes, would have been pro swing, but it wouldn't have technically been counter internal. So I was a little bit skeptical in terms of sells. And then you would have had a sweep there, a nice proper chunk at this stage over here, liquidity there. So could you have entered? Could you have had a trade in here today? You don't have the sweep there. Okay, sweep on the M15. This would have been the M15-minute sweep right there, so you probably if you were following this, you would have taken this one over here, and then now look, depending on the stop placement, whether you were very tight like that, could have been a loss, right? Whether you gave it room to breathe, like a 10 pip breathing room, depending also on the spread, whatever the case may be, this could have been a winner or a loser. This could have been a winner or a loser, depending on how you managed the entry there. Could have been a winner, could have been a loser. So yeah, it's a little bit iffy, but the entry would have been there, right? If you had been very close with the stop loss, it would have been a clear loser. If you had given it room to breathe, it would have been a winner. But now it's hard to say after it happens what I would have done personally, right? So actually this should be counted as a missed trade, right? It should be counted as a missed trade. Mondays, oh yeah, okay, that's it. This should be counted as a missed trade, even though for me it was iffy because the actual internal low is down here. Yeah, a little bit iffy, man. Not the best of setups, but regardless, it was a setup. So had I been more vigilant, I should have seen this. And because I don't know how I would have set myself up during session for that, then it's hard to determine if this would have been a winner or a loser. But as I was saying, okay, this is June ends today, so yeah, but just for July, just want to show up more, have more focus, and not take bad trades. Yeah, and yeah, let's just work on that, and that's pretty much it for today. And yeah, peace.